What if I told you that 1 week could completely change a tennis player's career? Not one match. Not one upset. One entire week in which Alexandra Eala walked into Washington facing one of the toughest draws on the WTA Tour, and walked out as a champion, a top 20 player, and the owner of a remarkable piece of Philippine sporting history. This was not a tournament where Eala was handed an easy path. There was no comfortable road to the trophy. One after another, she had to face players with Olympic success, Grand Slam finals, major championships, top 10 experience, and years of pressure-tested tennis behind them. By the time the week was over, 5 huge names had fallen. Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, Jessica Pegula. According to the WTA, every opponent Eala defeated in Washington was either a former Grand Slam finalist or a current top 10 player. And somehow, with every round, Eala appeared to become more confident. It all started with a brutal opening round challenge against Zheng Qinwen. Zheng was absolutely not the kind of player anyone wanted to see in the first round. She had the power, athleticism, and resume of an Olympic champion. And early in the match, things were not going Eala's way. Zheng captured the opening set 6-4. For many young players, losing that first set against an opponent of Zheng's caliber could have been the beginning of the end. But Eala responded differently. Instead of backing away, she became more aggressive. Instead of allowing Zheng to dictate everything, Eala began finding her rhythm. She battled back to take the second set 6-4. Then came the deciding set. And suddenly, the match completely changed. Eala dominated the third set 6-1 to complete a 4-6, 6-4, 6-1 comeback victory. The message had been sent. Alex Eala was not in Washington simply to participate. She had come to compete. But the draw only became more difficult. Next came Leylah Fernandez, the number 7 seed, former US Open finalist, and defending Washington champion. Fernandez understood big matches. She understood pressure. And she certainly understood how to win in Washington. But Eala showed no fear. From the beginning, Alex played with confidence and took the opening set 6-2. The second set became much more complicated. Fernandez pushed back and forced Eala into a tiebreak. This was the type of moment where experience could have changed everything. But instead of tightening up, Alex delivered. She controlled the tiebreak and completed a 6-2, 7-6 victory. 2 rounds. 2 dangerous opponents gone. And across the Philippines, and among Filipino communities around the world, fans were beginning to realize that this might be more than just another good tournament. Something special was developing in Washington. Then came Elina Svitolina, the number 2 seed. A current top 10 player. One of the most experienced competitors in the draw. Against someone like Svitolina, patience is everything. She can extend rallies, defend under pressure, and force opponents to hit one extra ball again and again. Alex needed discipline. She needed composure. And she delivered both. Eala defeated Svitolina 6-3, 6-4 in straight sets. No dramatic third set escape. No collapse. Just another enormous victory. 3 huge opponents had now fallen. And waiting in the semifinals was arguably the biggest name yet. Naomi Osaka. 4-time Grand Slam champion. Former world number 1. One of the most recognizable stars in women's tennis. For Alex, this semi-final represented another opportunity to prove that her Washington run was not simply a temporary hot streak. And she proved it emphatically. Eala defeated Osaka 6-4, 6-2. Think about that. She did not need a desperate third-set comeback. She defeated one of the most accomplished players of her generation in straight sets. And with that victory, Alexandra Eala was heading into the Washington final. For giants were down. Only Jessica Pegula remained. And this matchup had history. Pegula had defeated Eala in the semifinals of the 2025 Miami Open, winning a close 3-set battle 7-6, 5-7, 6-3. Now they were meeting again. But this time, a championship was on the line. Pegula entered the Washington final as the top seed and world number 3. She knew how to win at this level. And in the beginning, that experience showed. Pegula captured the opening set 6-4. Then rain complicated everything. The championship match was suspended, meaning both players had to leave the court, reset mentally, and return to finish one of the biggest matches of Eala's career. Imagine the pressure. A first WTA Tour title was within reach. History for Philippine tennis was within reach. But one of the best players in the world was standing on the other side of the net. When the match resumed, Pegula still had opportunities to take control. She eventually led 4-3 in the second set. And that was when everything changed. Eala found another level. She won the next game. Then another. Then another. Suddenly Pegula could not stop the momentum. Alex won the second set 6-4. And then came a deciding set that almost nobody could have predicted. 6-0. Eala completely controlled the final set. From 4-3 down in the second set, she won the final 9 games of the match. 9 straight games against Jessica Pegula. Final score: 4-6, 6-4, 6-0. Alexandra Eala was the Washington champion. And history had officially been made. For the first time, the Philippines had a WTA Tour champion. But when you look at the road Eala took to reach that trophy, the achievement becomes even more incredible. Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, Jessica Pegula. 5 matches. 5 completely different challenges. 5 victories. Svitolina, Osaka, and Pegula were also the tournament's top 3 seeds. The WTA noted that the last player before Eala to defeat the top 3 seeds on their way to a title was Barbora Krejcikova in Dubai in 2023. And then came another reward. The rankings. Alex had entered Washington as world number 28. When the new rankings arrived, she had jumped 8 positions. World number 20. A new career high. And more importantly, Alexandra Eala became the first Filipina in history to reach the WTA top 20. That number 20 beside her name means much more than a ranking. It changes the conversation around her career. For years, people talked about Alex Eala as a talented young player with enormous potential. Potential to break through. Potential to challenge the elite. Potential to carry Philippine tennis onto the world stage. But Washington changed something. Because now we are no longer talking only about potential. We are talking about results. Eala's victories over Zheng and Pegula also brought her total to 7 top 10 wins during the 2026 season, tying her with Elina Svitolina and Elena Rybakina for the tour lead at the time of the rankings update. That tells you this was not just one lucky week. Alex Eala is learning how to beat elite players repeatedly. And that may be the most important part of this entire story. For Filipino tennis fans, moments like these mean something different. Every Eala victory brings Philippine flags into stadiums. It brings Filipino communities together across countries and time zones. And it gives younger athletes back home someone they can watch and say, maybe someone from the Philippines really can reach the very top of world tennis. Washington delivered the strongest evidence yet. Zheng fell. Fernandez fell. Svitolina fell. Osaka fell. Pegula fell. 5 enormous challenges. 1 historic champion. And now Alexandra Eala is world number 20. So the question around her career has changed. It is no longer, can Alex Eala compete with the biggest names in women's tennis? She already has. She has beaten them. The question now is, how high can she go? Top 15? Top 10? A major Grand Slam run? Perhaps something even bigger? Nobody can guarantee what comes next. Tennis changes quickly, and every new level brings more pressure and tougher expectations. But after what happened in Washington, one thing is impossible to ignore. Alexandra Eala did not break into the top 20 by avoiding the giants. She broke into the top 20 by beating them. And for Philippine tennis, Washington may eventually be remembered as more than just the week history was made. It may be remembered as the week a completely new era began. Alex Eala is officially in the world's top 20, and she may only be getting started.